Okay, so it's not the best day to do this, but I'm making fermented black beans. Well, I'm not making them right now. I'm just airing them out. So I'm making fermented black beans. I'm picking out, I've already soaked and cooked these. Just getting out anything that, like skin or, you know, random beans kind of a thing. Of course, I didn't film the process of cooking. You can steam them. I'm just trying to air them out. These are not black beans like you would use in Caribbean or Hispanic cooking. These are actually black soybeans. And despite their long soaking and cooking process, they're still extremely firm. It's pretty fun making these. So it's just a bad day to kind of make them because, or not make them, I've made them. It's been like a 2-day process. Going to day 3, but only because it's not sunny at all. It's very overcast. And I'm just trying to get off the surface. I'm trying to get off the surface moisture, apparently. I've never made these before. Probably not the best thing to do if you're an amateur, but here we go. So I'm gonna get the surface moisture off. I have some straw coming because I'm going to inoculate these and let them ferment in straw. So, but first what has to happen is these have to sort of just dry out a little because you don't want them wet. All right, that's it. That's it for now. Wish me luck. Okay, my hay, or not my hay, my straw arrived. Hopefully you know somebody with a farm. Luckily I do. It's a big old bucket of straw. But anyway, I'm not going to be using that today. I'm still trying to evaporate the surface moisture of the beans. So far, so good. Okay, my fermented beans are out of the hay. And they look great, if I should say so myself. Nice, even ferment. There's still a lot of moisture in here. It's probably good to mix them while you're fermenting them. All right, that's it. They have a black powdery. Okay, now it's time to scoop the black bean, fermented black beans into like a ceramic crock. This is normally done for Boston baked beans, or like a bean pot, really. I don't know if the pot itself was created for the Boston baked bean, but in any case, I put a little bit of 5-spice powder, not a lot, Korean sea salt, and some dried Korean long peppers, as opposed to the pureed ones. I mean, the crushed ones, because I didn't want to introduce too much heat. So I have to admit, they look a bit salty, but they do have a lot of moisture still left in them. Oh, and I also added rice, sweet, I don't know if it's sweet or not, but it smelled sweet. Chinese cooking wine right after they finished air drying to suppress the growth of the mold. Well, it's probably mold, isn't it? Great word. But that's it. 2 weeks, we'll see how it looks. I may or may not add more chilies, and I may take these existing ones out if it feels like it's getting too spicy. Okay, note to self. The final on the beans was I added 1 pretty large avocado leaf. I also added a couple of small, like chile de árbol. And I added 1 small, about the end of a pinky size piece of ginger and cut it into 4s. And it smells incredibly fragrant. I also added the black peppercorns, which I think I already mentioned, but just in case I didn't. So God bless you in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. May you ferment and create a delicious little condiment. God bless you. All right, I'm covering her up. Okay, so it's been about not quite a year since I started my fermented black bean, and I wanted to show you how they look. Okay, first things first, let's give it a smell. Ah, wonderful. Very, very fragrant. Look at these beauties. They look just great. Okay, there's the chilies. These are pieces of ginger. The salt. And they look really beautiful. It's time to start cooking with them. And then all you do is you give them a little rinse-a-roo and then throw them in a dish. So maybe, let me think, not this week, maybe next week we'll do something with them, something delicious. I already have kind of my menu planned for this week, but you never know. Things change. So again, what you want to check for whenever you're fermenting foods and you have something like this, the first thing is the smell test. It should not smell moldy. It should not smell off-putting. It should have a sweet, let me see. This just smells like aromatics, and I can smell the chili. It changed scents as the weeks and months went on. At first, it smelled very much like Chinese cooking wine and Chinese 5-spice powder, Chinese 5-spice. And then it went from that to I added a piece of ginger, and then it sort of took on another fragrance. And then I had put the chilies, and now it's more chili forward. But it smells lovely. There is nothing off-putting about it. Usually try not to use a really clean utensil when you're in here as usual, but you don't want to add any contaminants after you did all that work. So fun was had by all when I made this. And now I have my own organic fermented black beans. I love that so much. Okay, it's really early in the morning. It's about, not that early, it's about 6:30 in the morning. And I wanted to get this video out, so I'm not getting really great light. But there it is. Fermented black beans made at home. Is it Friday yet? Okay, I'm getting one. About, let's say a cup of my fermented black beans. I'm going to attempt to make Korean jajangmyeon noodles. from scratch. I'm gonna rinse this and soak it. First I'm gonna rinse it in cold water to just get off the salt, and then I'm gonna soak it. Then I'm gonna blend it. Okay, that looks about good. I'll just put the remainder in here. No point overfilling it. Time to rinse these in cold water. All right, I just added the cold water. I rinsed them actually just under cold running water, and now I'm soaking them in cold water just to remove some of the salt. But I tasted one and they taste delish. They're so dehydrated. Before I start preparing them for cooking, I really want to plump them up and get most of the salt out. Not all of it, but more than not. Okay, if you hear all those noises outside and inside, I live in a very urban area. Second water change. And they're getting plumper. Okay, now call me crazy, but crazy. Get out of here, chicken. Anyway, call me crazy, but I've cooked enough black bean fillings in my life to know that these fermented black beans, if processed in this way, are going to still have more texture than that beautiful smooth texture I'm looking for. So that's why in that final soaking liquid, without getting rid of the color of the black bean, I'm going to cook this and almost cook it down. Then I'm gonna puree it into a nice smooth paste, and then I'm gonna fry it with my aromatics. Let's see how it goes. Don't say a word. I'm too afraid to go to my backyard to find ginger. And my backyard's like a jungle. Anyway, my husband's not here, but look what else I have. I have some wonderful organic dried ginger, which I'm gonna add now that I'm in this boiling process. I don't think I'm going to just put it in freely though. I wonder if I have any loose tea bag packets. Maybe I'll just do what? I'll find something, but I'm gonna add about a tablespoon. This is the best brand. Mountain Rose Herbs. Wonderful company. Okay, I'm jumping ship on the dried ginger, but I found these wonderful Penzeys ginger, sweetened ginger bits. And since this is ultimately gonna have a little sweetness, I'm gonna add that. Maybe I'll add another teaspoon more. Okay, this is what I mean by sweet ginger bits. They're just like delicious candied fresh ginger, and they don't have a lot of like stringy pulp or anything. So I'm just gonna add some more of this and let it simmer with the black beans. Stirring in the ginger bits. Please clear up. Okay. Let this all cook down until until it's really tender and the water is evaporated. Almost, because I still have to puree it. Okay, here's the color of the black bean that I just pushed down the sides just to show you it's getting darker. Let me go up a little bit. The more water I add, the less it's going to be a perfectly smooth mixture. I don't want a grainy black bean paste. If you've ever seen Korean black bean paste, it's smooth as silk. And I'm not going to sieve it, so I'm not just going to let it go like this. There's no way. Let's see if I go like that. Alright, I'm going to have to add something. Maybe I'll add, what? Oh, maybe I'll just take it out and start cooking it. Let me not get crazy. Okay, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of dark soy and 1 tablespoon of regular soy. Let's start enhancing that dark black bean color. That's the texture I'm thinking about. Turn down the heat. Going. I'm gonna probably cook it for another 2 minutes and then I'm going to taste it. Okay, I'm gonna stick a fork in it and call it done. Tastes great. The only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reserve this oil to saute up my onions, my zucchini, and my cabbage. I don't want my good fermented black bean oil to go to waste. So I'm just kind of moving it so it can naturally start to release some of its oil. It does need some, but look at how silky the texture looks. That's what I want for my jajangmyeon. Nice smooth texture. It looks like mole, Mexican sauce made with tons of aromatic flavors. Okay, let me stop dreaming. All right, back to business. I'm chopping up my veg and I'm gonna let it air dry because you know how I feel about wet veg. Okay, I've got 2 giant, not giant, but very big zucchinis that I've large diced roughly. It's okay if there's some smaller ones, it'll just blend into the sauce. But I want it to be big enough so as it dehydrates a little bit at room temperature, some of that liquid evaporates and it cooks. It still has some texture and it looks cool. Okay, last but not least, and maybe least, oh, not least. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna add cabbage. Honestly, don't remember cabbage going in jajangmyeon, but I'm gonna put it in front of the fan, and I don't know. I might reserve it. I might not. Let me think about that one. All right, but he's in. Woohoo! Okay, the final ingredient is going to be 2 tiny, small, not tiny, but very small potatoes that I've diced, like small, not a small dice, maybe a medium chop, rough chopped dice. And I think that the only thing that the potato contributes is starch, and I don't want to add extra starch, so I'm gonna go ahead and when I add it, I'm gonna add the water and the potatoes, because I know some of the water, some of the starch is gonna collect on the bottom of my bowl because I'm soaking it, but I don't want it to oxidize until I get to that point. And that's it. That's it, and that's all. All that's left to do is for me to mince up the pork tenderloin, and that's definitely going to be almost one of the last ingredients to go in. I got my last scraps off my bowl. Okay, now I see that it's getting brown pretty quickly because of all that fond. But my onions aren't as tender as I want. Now the solution to this is just add water. That's the French way. When you want a onion but not brown, just add water. I learned that from Jack the Pan. I love him. Love you, Jack, if you're watching. I love you. Okay. I would love to cook for Jack. Anybody watching other than my husband who knows Jacques? My husband doesn't know him. Please, I'd love to cook anything. Tamales. I know his wife is Puerto Rican, and she rests in peace. I cooked him a Puerto Rican meal. Hey, I got an escape thief. Get down here. Cards. Okay. I'm moving it because I really don't want to develop too much browning. I'm just trying to hurry up and get them as translucent as humanly possible without messing this whole thing up. All right, I'm going to go ahead and transfer this back into the platter. Alright, I'm just gonna cook it. It's 2:02, I'm gonna cook it until 2:04. 2 more minutes from this point. It feels nice and smooth, all the fond is cooked up. And then after this, I'm gonna add some of that the black bean paste oil, frying oil, and then I'm gonna go in with the zucchini. I guess the cabbage, I'm not sure about that one. I'm really conflicted, only because I don't want it to smell cruciferous. Alright, I'm not gonna put it in. I'm sorry, I just don't want it. I'm not gonna eat it tonight. I still have to make the noodles, and I want my sauce to really get balanced overnight with all those wonderful flavors, and I don't want to add the cabbage. So if I'm doing it wrong, I'm doing it wrong, but I'm You know, I can also just saute it tomorrow and then add it to a small portion of the sauce when I'm reheating it. I just don't want it sitting in that cruciferous veg overnight. Sorry, not sorry. You know what I'm talking about. All right. 2 minutes is fast. All right. Done. Sorry, my kid's calling on tap. Also known as my fur baby. My sweet little cutie. Did you get her? The drying really helps to, as you see, it helps to draw out the surface moisture. And even though the pan was clouded, I still got a great browning on it. Yes, there was some onion residue in here, but despite that, you can tell that some of it is legit caramelization. That's what I'm looking for. Nice starting. All right, I'm done with this. Okay, here's my my pork. I added just the tiniest little bit of potato starch to start thickening it. I have my black bean oil heating, and I just want to collect the fat, not the fat, the moisture. I do not want this to, wrong knife. I don't want this to get wet. I want it to be nice and thick. Because then after the meat, I'm going to take it out and I'm going to add to the wok the potatoes. Then I'll add all the ingredients and then we'll see how it goes. I think it's smelling amazing and I'm doing a great job. Somebody has to encourage me. Is anybody watching this besides nobody? Because you guys are missing out. I think this is brilliant. I like to work on positive self-talk. Okay, back to the cooking. Okay, it's in a bowl and time for the potatoes. You hear it sizzling in the background? Okay, it's ready. Gotta quiet down that pot. Okay, I just added the black bean paste and I think I added too much. No. All right, let's not panic yet. Yes. I have the panic button ready. Okay. You don't panic till we need to. Okay. I'm gonna turn this off. Just because it's really hot and I need time to think, and I also have to get the other ingredients together. Okay, the heat's back on and I've also added this beautifully thick, viscous pork bone broth that I just had some of. So that's gonna be perfect to kind of give us a nice velvety texture. All the onions are in now. I'm reserving the zucchini and the pork until all of this makes sense and I've tasted it for flavor. I have not added the sugar or the sesame oil yet. I want to make sure this part is right. That's hot. steam on my hand is hot. Not from where I'm stirring, just the foam. Okay, it's coming together. I know on the, I looked up what's in black bean sauce when they add a caramel color. And I don't think I want to add enough like dark soy to make it darker. So I don't know what I'll add. Maybe this will eventually get a little bit darker, and I'm really thinking that maybe that's an artificial coloring, that super black color, because it says caramel and all kinds of stuff. Of course it gives it that delicious dark distinctive taste and color, you know, but do we want that? It looks darker in person than through my view through my phone. Alright, but let's not panic. Let's not panic yet. There's still plenty of time to panic. Alright, let's do a shot like that. I'm gonna let this cook a bit. If it feels like it's getting too thick, I'm gonna add a little bit of water. I do want this to reduce, and then I'm gonna add the sesame oil and the sugar. And the reason I don't want it to get too wet is because I still have the zucchini and the meat, and possibly tomorrow the cabbage and all that has liquid, and I want it to be nice and thick and brothy, but not wet. Not a hot, wet mess. Okay, so let's see, it's 2:46 right now. Good cooking takes time and love and thoughtfulness. And if you don't want that, then there's so many wonderful restaurateurs out there that would love to cook something for you. Please support our restaurants. I know times are tough, but there's so many great practitioners still. Not all of them, but there's still a lot. I don't go to any of them because I'm stuck at home doing this for Rob. I'm his private chef. But I wish I could go out. So I just have to dream and imagine. That's a very fun way to live. Okay, I'm gonna put some sugar. I'm gonna use a little bit of organic light brown sugar because I want to continue to add to the darkness of it, and also I'm gonna add the sesame oil to taste at this point. Okay, I've just added 2 tablespoons of sugar. Organic light brown sugar, like I said. Boy, adding that sesame oil, I added all the sesame oil I had. It was about 1.5 tablespoons, and it made all the difference in the world. It brought that smell, that delicious smell of Korea, that toasted sesame seed. I gotta add that to my shopping list. I can never be without sesame oil. What a nightmare. Wow, it is getting dark. Look, it's almost blending in with the sides of the pot. Okay, time to add the zucchini and the meat. Well, the zucchini first, and then the meat. Then I'm gonna turn it off, and then I'm gonna let it sit, and then I'm gonna taste it, and then I'm gonna let it cool, then I'm gonna put it away, and then I'm gonna make the noodles. And then tomorrow, God willing, we'll be having jajangmyeon. All right, I just added the zucchini. Boy, I was wrong about everything. Look at how dark it's gotten. It looks so appetizing now. Yay. Yay to me. I am so smart. Okay. Oh, that looks wonderful. Okay, I have one last thing to add here before I add the meat, and that's gonna be my blender water where I processed the black beans, and there was that paste at the bottom, and I added a little bit of just like regular spring water, and I'm gonna put it in here. So it's gonna be just a little bit of not raw, but you know, the fermented salty blend. Okay, and there's the blender water, let's call it. Gonna refresh the black bean flavor, and this all kind of has to simmer. I have not added the pork yet. I just want to get this to the right consistency, if you will, because I do not want to toughen or in any way jeopardize my beautiful pork. My pork can't be jeopardized. Just a few minutes simmering, and so other than just the tiniest little bit of potato starch that I added to my pork when I sauteed it, just kind of cooked it up, and the potatoes, look, oh, what a great job the potatoes did at getting this viscous. Look at that beautiful thickened. And I just added that liquid by tomorrow, and once I'm done, and also the pork bone broth obviously is going to give it that wonderful sticky quality. So I guess later on tonight, after I've fed everybody, and maybe even before that, I will start making the fresh noodles and maybe roll them out tonight. I doubt that. Let's not get crazy and ambitious, but maybe, who knows. I slept really bad last night. Hate that. I'm not a good sleeper. But maybe, just maybe. I'm gonna turn up the heat a little bit. I want this to kind of thicken up quickly. Then I'll add the pork. Okay, let me taste it. The moment of truth has come. While the heat's coming up, let me go grab a tasting spoon. Okay, here comes the moment of truth. Wow. I know you guys are gonna think I'm exaggerating, but that is so delicious. I don't know what to do with myself. Oh boy. I don't know. I don't know what to say other than I can't wait for my family to have this. This is so wonderful. The flavors are so balanced. The saltiness is right there at the surface, and yet it's so complex with that fermented black bean, and the sweetness of the veg, the pork bone broth is so silky and fatty and smooth. Oh my gosh, wonderful, wunderbar. All right, I love it, but it's getting hot. My phone's overheating, I think, a little, and my hand hurts. I'm gonna let this come to a simmer and reduce, and then I'm gonna add the pork, and we'll talk later when I'm making the noodles, or when this thing looks right about the point where I'm gonna turn it off to cool. All right, time to add the pork and all its juices. Okay, turning this off. There's gonna be a lot of carryover cooking. And again, I'm not eating this tonight. I have to make the noodles. I need this to all come together. The heat from this pot is gonna finish cooking my tenderloin. And I do not want tough meat, tough pork. Wow, look at the beauty. Look at this beauty. Thank you, me. I don't know. This looks great, and it just because I tasted it and it tasted so wonderful. All those things. It only took a year. One year, jajangmyeon. Was it worth it? Okay, I'm gonna stop fooling around. I'm gonna just kind of keep moving this around every once in a while so it doesn't get a skin or anything weird on top. Keep it cool. And I'm gonna transfer it out of this wok into a container, and then once it becomes room temperature, I'm going to put it in the fridge. I'm gonna work on the noodles. Okay, I'm about to put the sauce to rest for tonight. But I've added 3 more teaspoons of sugar because now that it's settled down, I think it needs a little bit more of that American sweetness and a little bit, tiny little bit more of that dark soy. And then tomorrow, I'm going to redo this step, but fresh. What do I mean by that? Ooh, I can't wait. It just hit me like an inspiration. So I'm gonna get all these ingredients. I'm gonna get more onion. I'm gonna get zucchini. Might get a little potato. Maybe I'll just redo the whole thing except for the pork. I'm not gonna redo that. But then I will make it. This will just be the sauce based, and then I'm going to make the world's greatest jajangmyeon. And you know what? Maybe I didn't add enough black beans. So with tomorrow's upgrade, I am going to add some more black bean. I'm gonna soak these. I'm not gonna go through that process. I probably will. Let's not lie to ourselves. But I'm just gonna rinse off these Korean long peppers. I grew them in the garden, so I don't have a packet to show you what they are. But if you look up Baker Creek seed, you could probably find them there. I'm pretty sure that's where I got the seed. But anyhow, or buy them at your local Korean grocery store. All right, I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it, honestly. Oh, yummy. Ooh, this is gonna be so fun. So I'm going to rinse off these chilies, and I'm going to just add them directly into this sauce to just penetrate overnight, or maybe I won't. I'll have to taste them first. My battery's about to die. I'll give you the update in the morning. I have to charge the battery if you guys want to see me making the pasta, but you don't need to see the noodle making. Do you? Do you? You probably do. Let's see if I have the energy to film that. All right, there's the hood. All those sounds are the garbage truck coming in at whatever time of the night it is. Right. Okay, I went with it. It's a bit spicy. I just took a bite, but they are so fragrant and delicious. I'm just gonna add them whole so I can fish them out. Okay, there's probably a police chase happening. So on that note, let's end this video. Okay, let's taste the sauce really quickly so I'll know how it came together and how to adjust it today. flavors are going to be a little muted because it's really cold. Wow. That is so delicious. Okay, I'm so excited. All right, I really like how this paste turned out, doing it with an overnight soak. So it's one quick rinse in cold water, one overnight soak. I drained off the soaking water, the overnight soaking water, and then I let the beans dry for probably, I don't know, half hour, something like that. And then I put them in the food processor, which you saw, and then I fried the paste, and it's a great texture. It's a lot smoother, I think, and it has an overall nice hydrated feeling about it. So this was good. So I cleaned out my wok after I stir fried everything, and now I cleaned it out. I didn't want all that black particulate in the rest of the sauce, and I want the sauce to stay clean, and I don't want to risk having any like bitter burned stuff in it. So anyway, I'm just parboiling these to try to get as much of the starch out as I can before I add the rest of the ingredients. I think I'm gonna start off with the sauce from yesterday. By the way, this is the veg, the sauteed cabbage. I sauteed that separately, obviously, and I separated. I mean, I kind of built cooked this sauce. So I just started it off in a tiny little bit of oil, and then kept putting in the ingredients as needed or wanted, and then I kind of cooked it all together with the black bean sauce. And now I'm hoping that when I add the sauce from yesterday and this potato water, starch water, it's gonna give it a nice mouth feel. All right, enough of that. I added the sauce to the potatoes, and then I'm gonna add the veg and the meat. Gotta put this all down. I've got to hold my pot because I really want to try to work out the bean paste into the sauce, and I need 2 hands for that. Gotta put this all down. I've got to hold my pot because I really want to try to work out the bean paste into the sauce, and I need 2 hands for that. That was my son. All right, that's it. Should I add more black bean paste? I'm gonna taste it. I'm tempted to just add the whole thing. I better taste it. I'm adding a little piece of shishito pepper. I'm gonna fish it out, but I just wanted to add a little of that fresh green chili essence to the mix. Okay, Pretty soon it's gonna be time to roll out the noodle. So let's see, I finished the dough around, I wanna say 7:30. It's only been a couple of hours. But I do want it to air dry a little. I like my noodles a little more on the al dente side. Okay, let me just mix this, cover it, and then check my dough. I added the rest of the sauce and a pinch of salt and another like half teaspoon or teaspoon of sugar. And I used light brown, organic cane, I believe. Okay. Here's my dough. I took it out of the fridge. I cut off a piece. I hand rolled it so it could fit into the machine. And then I roll it out, and then I'll put it in the cutter and let it just air dry. I'm not gonna square it off or anything. I'm just going to do it just like this. I don't know how thick or thin I want to go. I think I'm gonna do it up until a number 7. Number 7 on your pasta machine. This is an old one, so I'll have to get the box. But anyway, I guess I'll just stop at a 7. Yeah, that seems right. Might be too thick. Okay, I'm gonna keep doing that until all or most of my dough is done. This is the pasta machine that I used, La Nova Alti. Now the finished pasta is all rolled out. It's just airing out here on my noodle board. This is a very thick noodle board too. Look at that. I love this thing. Thank you, Al. Look, it's nice to know a fine wood craftsman. That's it. I wanted to make a comment about the amount of flour people have and use when they're making pasta. And I hope if you are using a lot, you're recycling it, as in you have a small bowl for you to use that flour. But what I like to do is sprinkle just enough of what I need, and I'm relying on manual separation and airing out once in a while, making sure, like this guy, something's sticking here. But I don't want to just keep adding flour. I want to move. You know, you don't have to be obsessive, but you could just every once in a while move them along so it's just even. And then it doesn't, you know, add all that starch to the water. It's not messy. You've utilized all your ingredients and you've maximized your work, all that hard work we've put into it. We got to make sure it's right. Oh, okay, keep doing that. See, that's something that in the pot would get sticky, stuck like clumped. I have to do it with both hands because I'm breaking them. Quick snack, I'm having these cottage cheese pancakes, and I just put a little whole milk yogurt and some jam. Plating up my jajangmyeon. I got the noodles. I blanched them all off. I shocked them in cold water. And then right before I was about to serve, I just put them in a pot of boiling water to heat through. That's where I am. Okay, this is so chunky. The ladle doesn't want to, this little ladle, look at that. So the color is more subtle. It doesn't have that ink black color because I didn't add the one that has the caramel, but I think it looks lovely and it tastes very natural. Really does. Okay. Then all I did here was I added, made a small little vinaigrette and put some little pieces of zucchini and some green pepper. All right, and last and certainly not least, sesame. What a beauty. Okay, I'm gonna eat it while it's hot. This is so exciting. I love my noodles a bit on the al dente side. Okay, here goes. Piece of pork. Okay. This is so good. I can't stress enough the subtleness of the fermented black beans. So good. Again, you taste the sweetness of the onion. A little still of the crunch of that zucchini. The meat is so tender. The noodles al dente. The cabbage crunchy. Where are my manners? Where's your bite? Make you the perfect bite. Was it worth a year in 2 days? It certainly was. I'm really, really happy with it. And I think that for somebody who wants to put in all the effort, making that fermented bean yourself might provide some surprising results. Well, that's it. I gotta go chill now and eat my wonderful jajangmyeon. Thank you to whoever invented this dish and to everybody who's kept it going.